Tastes good.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Buzzin' with Cousin Talk. Today I got a special guest with me. Let me introduce you to longtime Monterey resident, Meyer. How you doing, Del?
Good. How you doing?
Thank you for coming on the show.
Sure.
Del
Sounds like fun.
is a volunteer or docent at Point Sur Light Station, approximately 19 miles down Highway 1. Del, how long have you been a docent?
Well, I got involved in 1991. I happened to go by on a family picnic thing and saw the cars lined up, and we went on the tour, and I was hooked. So next opportunity, I became a volunteer.
Yeah, that sounds great. I've driven by there myself, and I'm going to make a point to take a tour one of these days when this pandemic thing is all over with. And that is run by, when was it established? What year?
Well, the light was first lit in 1889 on August the 1st. Construction started in 1887, so it took 2 years to build, which is quite phenomenal when you go there and see what's involved in it.
Seems like it was a pretty tough construction with all.
Well,
the
it was.
rock.
It was all stone. All the stonework for the fog signal room and the keeper's house and the triplex were mined up in Little Sur River, back at a quarry back in there.
Yeah. Now, you call it a light station?
It is called a light station because it's a lighthouse with all the buildings that it takes to maintain it because of the isolation. At that time, there was no road down the coast, and it wasn't open until 1937. And a light station has all the buildings, which it took to maintain that. You had, the keeper's house, the triplex for the 3 extra families. You have a barn, you had a carpenter blacksmith shop, fog signal room, and of course the lantern room and all that, and the pump house. I mean, we have all the buildings. It's the only light station on the West Coast that has all of its buildings.
How many families lived there?
There were 4 families that lived there. We had the head keeper and then 3 assistants and their families.
And were they Coast Guard?
They were Coast Guard after 1939.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was the Lighthouse Service,
Okay.
which was under the Department of Commerce.
Now, did each family have a term, like a 2-year term, or then another?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're usually there for longer than that. I don't know exactly how long anybody was there. It would depend on the keeper whether they could handle the isolation or not.
Yeah. No cell phones probably at that time.
No cell phones.
Yeah.
No phone, period.
Yeah. And the light station, what does it actually do? I mean, a ship comes in and you...
No, it's actually a native navigation. They used to use what they called triangulation. And triangulation is you would see the lights, which had their own signals, so you'd know which one was which. And by, looking in one way or the other, you could tell approximately where you were. And Point Sur was one of those in the triangulation. Pacific Grove, Point Pinos was one, and San Simeon down was the other one.
That's a tough area there to navigate all the rocks.
Oh, yeah, a lot of rocks. There were a couple of shipwrecks there, namely the Ventura and the Los Angeles were the main ships that went down there, but there were others, of course.
Yeah, I remember growing up here in Monterey. We used to go for a drive, and I could hear the foghorn. Did they have a foghorn there?
They did have a fog signal down there, yes. And again, they had their own signal, so you knew by looking at your charts which fog signal you were hearing. Same thing with the light. The light had a 15-second flash. In later years, early on, it had a 15-second white flash with a short red flash every 7.5 seconds. So that was its signal, but now it's strictly 15 seconds.
Yeah. Now, Pacific Grove, is that a light station or?
No, it's a lighthouse.
Okay. So, you said there was 3 families there, so they had a school and. Yeah.
They had a school in later years. And one year they had a teacher come and stay at the light station and work with the kids, but then they built a schoolhouse out close to the highway, and that went on for a while, and then of course that wasn't feasible anymore, and so now they go to school in Big Sur.
So actually, where the light, the building, you go up a bunch of stairs. I mean, how is it? You go up. How many? Is there a room, and then another room, and then a?
Actually, it's only got 2 landings. You got the bottom, and then you have a short landing, and then the lantern room. But the actual light itself is 270 feet above sea level, which is the same as, like, say, Pigeon Point up at Half Moon Bay is 270 feet also. But that was the optimum height for distance to the horizon, which was approximately 19 to 21 miles at that time when it was, kerosene powered.
So somebody's got to be up there all the time. Just
well, they didn't have to be there all the time. There was somebody on duty there. Yes, I mean they had to keep it lit. They had to keep kerosene in the fountain so that it would burn. And of course, and then it was electrified in later years. But now it's, an aero beacon, which is, totally electrified.
My mom and dad used to go up and then go up the Sacramento river up there and then come back down. Well, Dad was asleep in the boat.
Yeah.
That's Queenie up there, a copy of her up there, the first one.
Yeah.
And Mom was, what do you call it, at the helm or whatever you're talking about. And all of a sudden she heard this terrible noise. What it was the waves hitting against the rocks. It was pitch dark.
Wow.
And couldn't see anything. And Dad heard it, and he jumped up and went into the, what do you call it, the wheelhouse or whatever. And boy, he said he, turned it as fast as he could because he was afraid they were going to end on the rocks. But they didn't. Yeah. But it was, scary. I mean, and that frog horn, when we were kids, they would blow the whistle in Pacific Grove at noon.
Right.
Okay, downtown. And there were so many parents.
Yeah.
When you heard that meant for you to start home.
Okay.
That was just, it was kind of you could go play, baseball at school, after school, whatever. But when you heard that thing, it was time to go home, which was really interesting.
Let me introduce you to Myrna. That's Dell's wife. She's also a docent there, and you've been a docent there for how long, Myrna?
Oh, long as Dell.
Yeah, just about the same amount of time.
You guys,
it's been 26, 27 years for her.
Do you do it together?
Yes.
Okay.
She usually runs the gift shop.
Okay.
And I did do the tours. I'm retired from walking that rock.
The rock.
It's a tough climb.
Me too.
So right now it's probably closed with the pandemic.
It's closed, yes.
And then it'll be open again.
Now also they have included in Point Sur Park is the naval facility, which was very secretive because it was a Cold War underwater listening station. Oh, wow. And it'll soon be open to the public too for tours.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'll be great. It's a very interesting place.
Well, I wanted to have you on, or both of you on, just to let people know about a lot of people have lived here all their lives. They don't even know about the Point Sur light station.
That's right. That's true.
And I think it's great that you were able to share some information about the light station, and I hope all you people out there listening go out and take a tour. That's right.
When it opens up, go on a tour. You won't be. It's a 3-hour walking tour, but it's worth it. So
let's take advantage of the history here. Monterey Peninsula has so much history. This is the second, from what I understand from a friend of mine, Gary, this is the second most historical place in the United States, other than Virginia. Is from what my friend told me.
Wow.
But anyway, so what are the hours?
Well, as I said, there's 2 tours on Saturday. They start at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And again, you
3
need to
hours.
show up at the gate a half an hour before the tour starts.
Yeah.
And Sunday, there's a single tour at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then during the summer months, there's sometimes tours on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But I would check the website at pointsur.org, and it will tell you.
Okay,
You know.
pointsur.org. Well, Dell and Myrna, I really appreciate you bringing me in your house and telling us the story of the Point Sur light station. Thank you very much.
All right, Johnny.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
Sounds good.